Alright, what's good y'all, and welcome back to MPIRE Sports. Today we're here to talk about the top 3 things that I've seen so far very early in this NBA season. Let's talk about it. So the first thing that I'm noticing early in this NBA season is that the teams that are going with no point guard, aka the all big lineups, are really struggling. First, let's start off with the Houston Rockets. Of course, in the offseason, they got Kevin Durant, which is one of the most major acquisitions that happened over the offseason, but they also lost Fred VanVleet, which is also one of the most major losses any team has taken this offseason. With that being said, they've decided to go with an all big lineup, and they're going with one of the twins, Thompson, starting at the point guard. I just understand the value of having a really strong floor general out there, and I just don't believe that you can go the whole entire season with no point guard and be a legitimate threat to win an NBA championship. So far, the Houston Rockets are 0-2. The first game they played, they actually had 22 turnovers, and the offense just never looked like they were ever on the same page. If you ask me, they really need to go out and pick up a veteran point guard and respect the fact that that is one of the most important positions on the floor. The other team that's going with no point guard is also a Texas team, which is going to be the Dallas Mavericks. Now, they're starting rookie sensation Cooperflagg at the point guard, and similar to the Houston Rockets, it's not going well whatsoever. In game number 1, which was a loss to the San Antonio Spurs, Cooperflagg had 10 points, obviously first game jitters, that's fine. However, he went the entirety of that game starting at the point guard and had 0 assists. Count them, 0 assists, playing a ton of minutes in that game. In game number 2, which was also a loss to the lowly Washington Wizards, I might add, Cooperflagg did a lot better with 18 points and even 6 assists. He did a lot better, but once again, if you're the Dallas Mavericks with all of these really good players on your roster, there is no reason whatsoever you should be losing to the Washington Wizards. Wemby is off to a scorching start this season. In game number 1, we actually played against the Dallas Mavericks, who I just spoke about previously, the man went off. He scored 40 points, 15 rebounds, and had 3 block shots in that game. In game number 2, he actually followed that up with another really superb stat line. In that game, he scored 29 points and grabbed 11 boards. And then in the most recent game that he's just played, my guy went from 31 points, 14 rebounds, and actually had 6 block shots. That's right, 6. You count them, 6 block shots in one game, almost going for a triple-double with blocks. So far, I would say there is no question, with the Spurs being 3-0 with a very young team, Victor Wembanyama may indeed be the extremely early front runner for the league's MVP. Alright, and last but certainly not least, and this one hurts the most, the Boston Celtics without Jason Tatum are off to an 0-3 start. Now obviously the Celtics lost a ton this offseason, losing Porzingis, losing Horford, losing Holiday, and we all understood that there would be a step back. A lot of people even said this would be a gap year for the Boston Celtics. However, with the roster that we have, with people like Derek White, with people like Jaylen Brown, with people who have been with the team like Peyton Pritchard, and even the newcomer Anthony Simons, there were people who believed that they can hold the boat afloat until, of course, JT came back. Now, holding them afloat doesn't mean winning a championship. It could mean being competitive. It could mean being 6th or 7th in the Eastern Conference. But so far at 0-3, it just simply doesn't look good. All right, and what hasn't looked good? They are second to last in defensive rebounding. I mean, these guys are small. They're fielding a very small team, and every team that plays them is just bullying them on the boards. I mean, every time they miss, they just get the offensive rebound, get another possession, and that is disastrous when it comes to winning basketball. And lastly, if you're looking for a hero, Jaylen Brown, last game, scored 41 points versus the Detroit Pistons. That's right, 41 points. He went off, and guess what? They still lost pretty easily and handily and still got destroyed on the boards. What does that tell you? If your best player can go for 41 points and you're still not competitive versus the Detroit Pistons team, who also is a very good and very improved team, I might add. So that's what I got to say. MPIRE Sports, we are back for the basketball season. Like I said, I'm covering hoops on all 3 levels, NBA, college, and high school. We are super excited to be back. You know the vibes. My name is Michael Perryman, and like I always say, we're just getting started.